All right, we've talked about two methods up until now. We've talked about tiles, which is modeling, and we've talked about the box, which is it's like an organized visual distribution, a visual representation of the tiles. Today I'm going to teach you the final method for multiplying. Well, there are others, but the final method we're going to learn this year, which is called algebraic distribution. So what that means is we're basically doing the box without the box. So I'm going to do an example of using the box, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like using this other method, algebraic distribution. Your parents may have heard of this method as FOIL, which stands for first, outer, inner, last. And it's a way for you to remember which terms you need to multiply together. Algebraic distribution is actually not my favorite method, even though it's the one that I learned and the only one that I knew before I started teaching algebra. I don't like it as well as the other one because I feel like the box is organized and it scales. So if I have like a 2 by 3, I have an empty box for every set of terms I'm supposed to multiply together, so it helps me keep track of what I'm doing. But again, whichever method you feel most comfortable with, you have to understand all of them, specifically the box, because we're going to use that in the next part of this unit when we start to factor. But as long as you understand all of them, as long as you understand every method, you can choose whichever method you'd like to use from now on. So let's try an example. So if I had this, x minus 6, x minus 2. Okay. If I was solving this using tiles, I would draw a bunch of tiles, and I'm not going to do that. If I was solving this using the box, I would draw a box, and I would put one of them on the top, one of them on the side, and then I would multiply each thing together. So x times x is x squared, negative 6 times x is negative 6x, x times negative 2 is negative 2x, negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12. And then I would combine them all together. So that gives me x squared minus 8x plus 12. Okay? That is the box. Now let me show you what this looks like when we use FOIL. So I take my x minus 6 times x minus 2. And I remember when we would distribute, like if we had 2 times 3x plus 7, we would draw an arrow to tell us we do 2 times 3x and 2 times 7. Well, we're going to do the same thing here, except we're going to multiply everything in the first one by everything in the second one. Okay? So I'm going to multiply my first terms together. So x times x is x squared. I'm going to do my outside terms together. X times negative 2 is minus 2x. I'm going to do my inside terms together. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. And my last terms together, which is negative 6 times negative 2, which is positive 12. And it looks like a little bald dude with a comb over. See, there's his nose, and there's his mouth, and there's his ears, and there's his comb over. Anyway, whatever, the little bald dude. Okay, so now I'm going to combine my like terms. Well, I have negative 2x and negative 6x. So I start with my highest order exponent, x squared. Negative 2 plus negative 6 is negative 8x plus 12. I get the same exact answer. So it's the box without the box. See, I had an x squared, I had a minus 2x, I had a minus 6x, I had a plus 12. Just instead of them being in the box, they're in a line. Okay, so that's the only difference. Basically, again, algebraic distribution is the box without a box. Okay, and this is like the old school method that we all learned when your parents say we didn't learn it with this box. This is what they meant. This is how we learned it. Okay.